What if you could feel really close to God again? Or for the first time, starting today? Have you ever found yourself feeling spiritually dry, distant from God, or just like your prayers are going nowhere? Your Bible reading plan is nothing more than checking off a box? If so, you are certainly not alone. Recently, someone confided in me that they were feeling exactly that way. Down, disconnected, unmotivated, and unsure how to get back to a vibrant spiritual life. I completely understood because I've been there too. In fact, I've gone through several seasons like that. Yet it happens to most of us. Now, before I get into this full podcast and blog post, I want to remind you to check the website on May 1st, SherryElaine.com or GospelLifeLearning.com for all of the updates and details on the exciting offerings that are going to be available for the first time this summer. I've mentioned the online Women's Connection cohorts starting in early June, but that is just one part of it and just one opportunity of a few new things that I will be offering. I am very excited. It's now only 5 days away when the announcement and details will be revealed on May 1st. That is next Thursday. Check your emails if you are on our email notification list, or check the websites, SherryElaine.com or GospelLifeLearning.com, or check my social media pages on Facebook or Instagram on May 1st. Okay, now back to topic. Recently, a woman confided that she was feeling down, disconnected, unmotivated, and as if she was disappointing God because of it. So I shared a few things that have helped me in those dry places. Things that aren't necessarily your typical quiet time disciplines or routines. Oftentimes, we are just in a rut and we need to do something a bit different to let ourselves connect with God in a new, more personal and enjoyable way. Maybe try journaling a prayer as an actual Dear Jesus letter, or write your own psalm. Those are a couple I like to do because, of course, I like writing. But if you don't like writing, don't do those. Pour your heart out like David did. If you are creative or artistic, draw what you're feeling and describe it to him. If you enjoy gardening, plant an area of your garden and talk to him while you do it. Or maybe go out for a long drive and just speak to him like he's sitting right there in the passenger seat. Because he is right there in the car with you. Several years ago, I was in one of those dry spells. I was overwhelmed, spiritually sluggish, and I was barely hanging on to my prayer life. My anxiety was climbing, my energy was tanking, and I was disappointed in myself for getting back to this place, this dry place. I knew better, but still I had drifted, and I had let this distance and space come in between me and God. So that's when I decided to try something very simple, very childlike even. But let us not forget, though, that Jesus taught in Matthew 18:3, he said, "Truly, I tell you, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven." Something that I believe Jesus meant is that we must have belief and trust that what he says is true, is really true, even though we cannot see it. And what this means for our relationship with him is this. He has told us that he will be with us always, every single day. The actual Greek in that verse, Jesus says, I will be with you all of the days, always, even until the end of the age. It's not just a general, I am with you nearby and watching you. No, he specifically said all of the days, every single day. He is with us. And we are to, he said, abide with him. We are to live with him, remain in him. It's that word meno that I shared about a few weeks ago. Abide, remain, do life with him. So here is what I did in one of my last spiritually dry seasons. I called it the Remember He is With You personal challenge. For 30 days, I decided that I would imagine that Jesus was with me physically, not just in spirit, but right there with me every step of the day, because he is right there with me, with us every day. So when I woke up in the mornings, I imagined him sitting at the foot of the bed saying, "Good morning." In the car, he sat in the passenger seat and I would talk to him. At work, I had a chair in the corner of my office. That's where he would sit. During stressful meetings, I pictured him at the conference table, calmly present. At home, he sat on the couch. He had a place there, and I could imagine him reminding me to be patient with my kids and gentle with myself. Yeah, you may think it sounds silly. You may think, wow, Sherry, I can't believe you are telling us this. It makes you look immature. But I will come back on that and let you know that there is no practice I have ever implemented that has more effectively quenched my soul than the month I spent doing my best to keep my mind on Jesus and with Jesus all day long. Over time, something incredible happened. By day 15 or so, I didn't have to pretend anymore. I didn't have to imagine or try anymore because his presence became real. It became practically tangible. I didn't have to make myself to think about him because I simply could not forget the fact that he was there. So if you're in a dry place right now, don't feel ashamed. Don't give in to the voice that says God is disappointed in you, because that's not his voice. God's love for you hasn't changed one bit. Even if your spiritual routines have been lacking, he's still there all of the days, and he's waiting to walk with you again, to do life with you again, maybe in a new way that allows you to share delight with him. So why not begin today? Start with one small act of connection, something personal, something real, maybe even something creative or playful. Pretend if you have to at first. Be like a child. Go out for a walk with Jesus. Take a long drive and talk to him. Have a coffee break and talk to him. Make him a seat next to you. And just see what happens. I'm sending up a prayer for each of us today that you'll catch a glimpse of his hand at work, and that little by little your soul will be refreshed and renewed. Let's remember together, he is with us. When we remember this and act upon it, it's called practicing his presence, and it's an absolutely delightful way to go through the days. Until next time, goodbye for now.